Good evening, everyone. Clayton Biker Cowboy here at Biker Cowboy Garage. Another episode. It's been a while. So it's been winter out here on the Oregon coast in Tillamook. It's been raining a lot, and we're still getting moved in and kind of adjusting to a schedule and all that. So been a little neglecting the shop here, but as you all know, this is the hashtag FLHT Sport. This is a 2009 police Electra Glide that I am trying to make something cool out of, one piece at a time. So since last time we were out here, we have done new handlebars. These are LA Choppers Street Fighter Psycho Chubby T-bars in 12-inch. I don't know if you guys can really see, but you can see all the gauges. So I can see my fuel, my volts, everything. My hands are still pretty protected. You can see from the front view here, they don't stick out real far. They're kind of flush. So I'm very happy with it. The reason I picked these bars is they have this big drop here, so I'm not going to hide my gauges. Notched the pocket right down in here. If we can see, it's a little dark. I just had to make a couple notches, ran the wiring through there. So I'm super happy with the T-bars. Went with Vans grips. So far they're cool. I went with some heated grips. I love moto grips, but I wanted to make them heated, so I bought one of those universal kits, kind of like you would run on a dirt bike or a snowmobile. And they're pulled and wired. They're pulled. The wires are pulled through. I just haven't taken time to hook them up and all that yet. So that is the handlebars. Also, I don't like the long rear brake levers on these baggers, the stock ones that have that big old footboard out here. So I cut about this much off of this, and this is for a sport bike. Got it on line. So I just shortened this arm up, drilled it, and bolted this line, and the brake I feel is much easier to use. I don't have to pick my foot off the floorboard to use it. And so I liked that so much that I decided to shorten up the shift lever as well. So I did basically the same thing. You can see this is round. So I ground it down until I had two flat spots on it. I had to experiment with a couple different lengths. It looks real short here. It is pretty short, but that's what fit well. So I'm super happy with those. Took this bike on the first ride. I hate to even really admit it. It was probably, I don't know, under 200 miles, but it was nice to get out and go for a rip the other day. Tour pack's gone. Docking hardware. I've got a sissy bar. I need to get a luggage rack. With that, kind of cover up the plate halfway. There's nowhere to mount the plate because it was mounted to the tour pack above the light. So I'll have to figure out a light over here, but this plate is quick detach. I just bent up an aluminum plate, and so it just folds over inside the saddlebag. So when you open the lid, you can pull it out and take your plate off if you ever wanted to. Was going through some takeoff parts, found a new model horn. Thought, it's different than stock, so we'll put it on there. Still super soaked. That was the first time I've ridden this at night. Last Wednesday was out with more Styles and Jay Hardcore and his brother. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. But we had a great time cruising up to Astoria and around and ripping some back roads and hit some dark on the way back. So need to adjust it a little bit more, but this Moon's MC Fly Eye is an awesome headlight. So I'm stoked with that. Got my PDX bagger sticker from @dubc211 or @PDXbaggers on Insta. He put that on because I can't put anything on straight. While we were putting stuff on, there was this big ugly sticker, some warning label. You can kind of see where it was here. So he's so good at removing stickers, he was not kind enough to pull that off. And the cheesy tank badge stickers. I mean, they looked good, but they were just a cheap vinyl sticker from like a Harley shop. I got some custom badging being made by Rain City Moto Culture, RCMC, Rain City Moto on Instagram. Check them out. They're local here out of Portland and do a lot to support our community and all of us. Got my Instagram stickers on here at Clayton Biker Cowboy. That was kind of a cool Amazon find. They're 8-inch long stickers. I don't know what they were, 13 bucks for 10 of them or something. So I kind of like that touch. So that is pretty much what I have done to this. If you've never pulled one of these Batwing fairings, I'd never worked on a bagger really at all. working on the motor for the most of what I've gotten to, which is minor stuff like new plugs. These baggers are real easy to get apart. The gas tank is 4 bolts, 2 vents, and the fuel line is a quick connect, kind of like an air hose, so it doesn't make a mess. So you can pull a seat, saddlebags, gas tank. There's only 7 bolts to get this outer fairing off, which I didn't realize. So there's 3 here. Then there's 1 right here and 1 down in here, and that's on each side. And you pull the outer off, you unplug the headlight and everything comes with it. So that was really cool. That was a lot easier. It's just nice to kind of get comfortable. Most of my vehicles I've had forever, and I know them inside and out, so it's always odd to get into something new. Side note with these bars, I bought a cable kit and everything fit through there. So I decided to go external with these wires, because trying to get this bend was not going so well, and I don't mind externally wired bars. All my bikes have them. Internally wired looks nice, but time and annoyance, I was like, I'm totally good with externally wired bars. What I'm most excited about on this episode is Dub C211. Chris hooked me up and Bobo Glide with some parts, but Dub was the mastermind to doing a totally hidden stereo in here. So that was what we did Saturday night till about 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. Really, it went all well. This being a police bike, there was no wiring, no harness, no nothing. So he hand built the harness, the battery under here back. It's all fused. You can see these tweeters he found, which are called a driver tweeter. I don't really know a whole lot about stereo stuff, but I know these things sound insanely good and they fit perfect in these pockets. Once again, on a police bike, these were just plastic deletes. So that's the only telltale sign there's a stereo. Of course, the speakers are in here. It's got a kicker 4-channel amp. So basically, you've got a JL, let's see, I'll show you the part number. I was so impressed with it. A JL Audio MBTRX Bluetooth receiver, and it's the most simple thing. You run keyed power to it, it does its Bluetooth signal, and it has 2 RCA outputs. So it's like the simplest thing I've ever seen. And it auto links to your phone, which I actually have the bike on and the phone linked up so I can play some music for you guys. I'm sure my neighbor's tired of hearing that shit, especially at 2 in the morning. He came out and, like, as nicely as he could, was like, "Oh, did you get your stereo done the other night?" So Chris said it would bang, and it is crystal clear and like blistering loud. The weather's been a little shitty, so I haven't been able to take it out of this shop and play it, but it is just crystal clear anywhere in here. You can hear it in the house. So I'm super stoked on that. And tomorrow, this is going to my favorite place, Paradise Harley Davidson. Extended warranties. I don't know if I've ever talked about those because I'm always working on my own shit, because everything else I have over here, Sporty Sport. Oh yeah, the tire. This is where there was a plug. They tell you not to plug tires. I had a 1.5 years on it. It finally blew, so that was exciting. But yeah, so new tire for the Sporty Sport. Chubbs is doing good over here. Needs some brake work. I need to rebuild the whole brake system. I boiled it out, faded it all the way till there's nothing left a couple times, and now randomly I don't have brakes on it. So we'll get back to that. But this thing, I bought it. I financed through Harley Davidson, through Paradise Harley Davidson. They did their inspection, and lo and behold, I have a little transmission leak. So this is your cover for your transmission, and this is what holds, I believe they call it the cassette in there, which is the whole guts. This is leaking. So I tighten these down, and one of these bolts is stripped. Sorry, this battery tender leads right in the way. So anyways, it's going into Paradise for a Harley Davidson warranty. I always say they pay for themselves. I'm sure this is no exception. If it's what I think it is, they're going to have to pull the entire inner, outer primary clutch, primary chain, starter, all that shit, then pull the exhaust system off, the header off, and pull the whole cassette out of the transmission, which sucks. So if you don't have an extended warranty on your bike, and your bike's capable of getting one, it's new enough and low enough miles, which you ask your local dealer, I highly recommend them. The new Milwaukee 8s, I know if you're going with different tuners and stuff, that can screw with your warranty, which that's a whole different can of worms. I'm talking about, you know, twin cam style bikes, pre-2017s, 2018s is when Harley really cracked down on it, and all that. Although this bike would be warrantable, because there's no tuner. It's just got slip-on stock intake. So anyways, so I'm super stoked about that warranty. Little things I noticed after shaking it around and moving it, my master cylinder cover is leaking. That's a warrantable issue. You know, normally the part's less than what the warranty is going to cost, but you know, it's a $50 deductible. But anyways, so they're going to fix that, go over everything with kind of a fine-tooth comb of somebody that's actually trained to do this and keep you safe riding your motorcycle. So I'm excited about that. Quick sentiments, I guess, of the first good day riding is new tires were huge. Damn it, I put those other ones away. I can't see where I put them, but anyways, they're buried over there with all the other wheels and tires. But that back tire was cupped, starting to delaminate. It was a mess. It was terrifying to ride. So yeah, those tires sucked, and I was starting to get real worried about if maybe there's something more wrong with the bike, broken motor mounts. So this is a new set of Shinko 777s. I'm sure I already thanked D. Rollins for hooking it up. These were off his Ultra that he had a while back, many moons ago. So brand new tires and these spoke wheels. So putting those on made a world of difference. You know, even though you got old suspension and stuff, or stock I should say, it's much better. And then you continue to push your bike a little harder, and you start to get into those like high speed, I'd say over 60 mile an hour sweepers. And when you start to push it, I see why everybody says you want a true track. I'm sure the suspension is a little old and soft. I do have the tires just a touch overinflated, which I would think would make it a little track a little better. But when you're pitched in a corner pretty good at a healthy clip, it does not bounce up and down on the same parallel. I don't really know how to describe it. It feels like your front and back wheel aren't in line and it's bouncing in different time or something. It's not drastic. It's totally ride outable, but if you're leaned over about to drag a floorboard in a corner at 70 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour turn, that'll take a little getting used to. But I think a true track is probably going to be my next purchase. I was hoping to get the Power Vision tuner, and then I can work on my exhaust and intake. Of course, you know, it's just money one thing at a time, as all our projects are. But I think that true track's going to move up the list. I believe it's Progressive Suspension makes one. It's a little less than the actual True Track brand. Essentially, it's the same thing, should perform the same. So I'll do a little bit more research, but I've talked to quite a few people that have run both, and I'm pretty set on going with the Progressive one, save, you know, $70 or whatever it is on that. So definitely ran on a tangent there. Also, once again, more styles, more underscore styles. My buddy Rob and his lady Kayla both just graduated stylist school, hairstylist school, and they are working down in Salem. So look up more underscore styles. And Kayla, I don't remember what hers is, but you can find her through Rob's thing. And thank you, Rob, for this lift. That's what made me think of it. This lift is amazing. Rob hand built this. It's a big behemoth, but it'll bring this bike clear up probably 4 feet off the ground, almost 3 feet off the ground anyways, as much as any, you know, longer lift would. So that's awesome. Thank you, Christy. Just hooked me up. They were moving, so I got another lift there and a few other things. So thank you everybody that donates. And that's one thing I love about our moto community is if I got parts or somebody else got parts, we can all trade around. Damn it, now I can't remember the guy's name. Got some speaker rings. This is the beauty of it. You know, we talk on Instagram. We all hook up with each other and talk. So I needed some rings to adapt these to a bigger speaker on the backside. And guy, I'll hit you up on the next episode. Literally hit me up, said just drop me your address, I'll mail them to you for nothing. So that was super cool, dude. I really appreciate you. I know I blasted that up a little bit on social media, but that's what it's all about, man. Like if I got something laying around that'll help you, let me help you, you know, and same goes. So anyways, without further ado, I think that covers everything. Basically every bike I have needs work again, almost, but that's just the revolving door. The Sporty Sport just needs a rear tire and it's ready to rip. The flat track bike's looking good. Of course, we got Sporty Mob down here. Got the Sporty Mob seat and tail section. I think that was on my last Biker Cowboy Garage video, I believe. If not, I apologize. But Sporty Mob down here on the swing arm too. We like to blast Sporty Mob everywhere. Got Sporty Mob timing cover on this guy too. So Levi Davies or Sporty Mob, just check out at Sporty Mob. Real cool group of dudes, bringing a lot of people together in all different kind of communities. So brakes, tire, transmission reseal on this. Other than that, this rode great. So I'm gonna try and turn the stereo up. I don't really know how it's gonna sound here on on this GoPro. It is super crystal clear, and I hope some of that plays through. It's kind of I picked Candy Paint by Post Malone because it kind of has a lot of different high frequencies that play really good through these tweeters. So if you don't like Post Malone, well, don't ride with me because you're gonna hear it. So let's get this thing. Oh, I guess it disconnected. Okay, we'll get reconnected here. This is pretty good too. This will show you about how fast this thing connects. It does not take long at all. It just clicked, powers on, and there we're connected. So that's the MTB RX. You can see it pops right up. Like I said, there's no power other than keyed power. So we're gonna turn this thing up.
Candy paint with the white on top. Lambo doors on the wall. If you busy plotting on what I got, kicking your door and swat you down. $100,000 on the table top. That's price my whip, same price my watch. Got no jumbo, but I bought a lot. Bitch on your stony, I do what I want. Didn't know that was your girl when she gave me top. Kicked out the road, said thanks a lot. Got down love paper like a Michael Scott. I can do things that your man cannot. Sad boy coming down, damn, I'm hot. Everybody say that I gotta be stopped. Even though my final form ain't none of that. I'm so ahead of you, motherfucker.
Well, that should give you guys an idea. Hope you got a lot of you guys can hear this in person at some point. I'm super stoked. Appreciate everybody that urged me to put a stereo in it, like Bo and Chris, and making it happen for me. So I would have been like, oh, that'll come way down the road, but I'm super stoked to have it. Can't wait to ride. All y'all keep learning something new. I'm gonna keep learning something new, and we'll get back together. We're gonna do some rides this summer. I'm definitely planning to go to Pendleton Bike Week, so any of you out there that are hoping to go to that, we can meet up at some point while we're out there, or ride out together, or however that's gonna go. I'm kind of going and staying with a group of guys. So but anybody wants to go to Pendleton Bike Week or meet up out there, hit me up. I'm gonna try and hit as many runs as I can. I really want to do the Ori gun run this year, so that's a real busy time of year, but I'm gonna try my best. So anyways, I appreciate all you guys. Thank you all for listening in. I'm gonna come right back with some Dixon flannel reviews real shortly. You all know I'm a stick in the mud, so everybody's wearing Dixons, and I'm kind of like, why has everybody got Dixons? And so my lovely bride got me some Dixons, and it's the nicest flannel I've ever had. So I like living them now. So anyways, I guess I'm a Dixon guy now. That's not a bad thing. They're beautiful shirts.